Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today we're taking a look at my pencil cactus, which is the center point of my living room. It is huge and green and full and fully cascading, and I love all the cascades, the main one coming out towards the window, and then the less dominant ones towards the back and sides. The root, I'll show you the trunk later. It's getting a nice woody base. The only thing that's beginning to become a problem is it continues to shoot out some vertical growth that goes against the flow of well, not the tree, the cactus. So in past, I have pruned them off, washed not to get the liquid that it squirts out the bottom in my eyes, and put them in glass vases with nice fresh water for rooting. And I've had 100% success with rooting every single one of these vis-a-vis nice, clear, fresh water in a clear vase. So today I would like to get rid of the vertical growth, and I'll start them well on their way to being some nice cuttings. And I would also like to take out some of the finer small growth, maybe in a tighter section that doesn't look as nice. I'd like to get 3 cuttings that have a few branches on them, and I want to get those rooted. Started on rooting for my little baby mame or shohin pots. I've only filled 3 of the 20 that I got for Christmas. And I remember that when I got these, the person at the nursery said, you know, they really like to have a small pot, so make sure that their root base is filling the pot. It goes against what you would think, oh, it's going to get root bound, but they actually thrive once they do settle into a pot. In fact, when I did upgrade it to this larger pot, it took a while to continue growth again. So if you have a pencil cactus out there and it's struggling, you may want to put it in a smaller pot. I know they could get top heavy, so, you know, just figure it out. So all of that is what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. One here, we rooted this cutting, and you see it's a nice single trunk. Really well balanced, good amount of branching early on. And so I'll let that go for a while and then reassess. You don't want to get it too crazy outside of a pot like this, in my opinion. Oh man, got an amaryllis overboard. Stop. All right, bloopers in real time here at Jarhead Bonsai. And so come across here, and this is going to be my best cutting yet. Look at all those roots. So I defoliated the base layer of some of my Rojo philodendrons, and I figured they still would look nice, even though they're pruned off, so I just threw them in there with it, since I'm getting ready to plant this guy. So you see that one's really nice. What's up, guys? Tough day at the office. See, even my pillows are plant themed. All right, so over here we have one that's kind of a mini version of the mother plant. Nice and full, weeping out the side. This was one of the original cuttings, and it stayed in water for a good long time. And one of these vodas on the wall. I don't think I have any more pencils. Nope. No more pencils rooting up there. Okay, and then over here, we have 2 of them. This one coming out this way. This little guy coming out this way. And then there's a Schefflera cutting in there as well. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that planting. It was more like a plan to have a plant with some cuttings. All right, so let's get to cutting. All right, y'all. So take a look at this pencil cactus root. Since it is such a little funky cactus, I like that it has these gnarly roots. Maybe on some bonsai trees, this would be frowned upon. It wouldn't look as nice. You're supposed to go out radial and flowing, but this thing is crazy. So maybe it will kind of all join up and make this big, thick base to the trunk, and I'll be able to do some corrective pruning with the roots. I don't even know if you're supposed to do that with these. Time will tell, because right now it's doing awesome, so I'm not going to try and correct something that is not broken. So let's get to the cuttings. All right. So here we go. I have been leaving this piece because it had some outward growth, but it just doesn't fit anymore. It's just too vertical for too long, and I think it'll really make a nice little cutting. So I'm going to take this one off and allow it to root, and then once this roots as a cutting, I'm going to attempt my first mid-branch cutting. But this one is so bright yellow, that means it's all new growth, even though it's thick. And it's starting to get some branches up there, so I think it could be a cool cutting. And I have always done the full branch all the way back, or leaving just a little room for dieback. I've never done, remember to watch your eyes with this stuff, I've never done a mid-branch pruning. So, all right, the size of that bad boy. So I'm going to get that dropped in the water. I'll get the one that's already rooted that we're planting today out of the water. This root mass, holy cow. All right. So look at the roots on that sucker. Well, looks like we got one of the cuttings because I just broke a piece off. Okay, so I'm going to pop this right in my little mame glass votive. So that's what I'm going to root the little babies in for these tiny little pots. There's one that's really narrow, a little deeper, two, tiny. And I think this one's my favorite. 3. It's octagonal. All right, so I'll get this bad boy over here in its future home, what I believe will be. Okay, there was a really nice one off of here that I wanted. What is that? Boom. And right here, there's 3 coming out of here, and the one in the middle is divided into 2, so I'll take that one. And let's see, one more. Let's do, oh, that's funky. Let's do this one. All right, cool. So we've got this one. That's pretty cool. Drop that in the votive. This one, which is where we were helping, where there was a branch dividing into 3. So I took the singular one that divided into 2 already. And then this one, they're not all exactly at the same point. This one is, I mean, I know it's small, but a couple of centimeters or maybe a centimeter lower, and then these 2 are branching from the same point. So those are the cuttings for my mame. All right, very exciting. And now we're gonna go get this other one potted up. I've got some interesting things I want to do with it, so let's do it. Oh wait, I totally forgot. I meant to show you. I found my other cuttings. So I had it, that one rooting. I have them in the the vases along the window, the hanging baskets. So you see the roots are great. So continued 100% success with rooting these in water. If you have your own at home and want to do that, or if you're looking to get one, highly recommend. All right, y'all. So I had a thought, and I think I'm going to run with a little experiment here. Since I've had so much success with rooting these things in just water, I thought, why not try? I have this cool vase and this little fish bowl. Why not try to do a couple of water scenes? I have a bunch of shells and coral from our trips. You know, I've got this cool thing that was, I don't know, maybe from a fish for Franny a long time ago. And then I have a ton of little river rock pebbles that I thought I could use maybe as a bottom dress towards the bottom decoratively. Maybe the roots, something for the roots to settle into. I don't know. I saw these and it made me think of my buddy Scott at Let's Do Bonsai. He was top dressing his plants the other day, and he said he used to use like this awesome British botanical garden stone to top dress his plants. And so I'm like, well, maybe these sitting in the pot with just their roots exposed, or in the vase with just their roots exposed, wouldn't look nice. But maybe if there's some stone, I don't know, some, you know, fishbowl accessories and some cool shells or coral, we can make it look nice. So I won't make you suffer through me talking and thinking and going slowly. I'm going to throw this bad boy on a time lapse, put on some dope music, and hopefully we'll have a success. So stand by for that. All right, y'all. So here we have the one that is not rooted yet, and I set it inside a channel whelk. Whelk is like a conch shell. And then there's a couple of other pieces of coral in there. All three of these are from Mexico. So, yes. And then there's a little bit of stone at the bottom. You know, I have never set up an aquarium before or anything like that. But since I'm getting these huge cuttings that I have to cut off of, you know, the mother plant, I mean, why not? I've been considering taking this one off as well, but I don't think I'm going to do that today. Let this thing recover. That was a pretty big cut that it took. Okay, and then over here, put this one in a little fish house. It had a little more gravel, but what I'm going to do is I need to re-up on bonsai soil anyway, so I'm going to get a big old bag of perlite, and I'm going to do about the same amount of perlite, set the roots in that, and then have the stone on top of it to hold the perlite in. And this way, it'll make it a lot more sturdy, because these things are top heavy, and even though it has roots, you know. So that's what I'm going to do. So this one is not finished product, but I still think that it's a pretty cool idea, and I'm having fun with it, and that's the most important part. So not a bonsai, but a cool plant nonetheless. All right, y'all, so that's going to do it for us today here at the ranch. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I'm digging this profile of this huge pencil cactus, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So the fact that I can get plants and plants and plants from this one that I paid $3.33 for in this tiny little pot just a couple of years ago, it's high on my list of recommendations. So without further ado, if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, y'all.